So now, having completed the cumulative equity balance, we are now ready to determine our project internal rate of returns after tax. So in order to do this, we will just use the XIR function in Excel. So we are grabbing all of the cash flows, including the initial investment amount, and we want to also grab the dates associated to those cash flows, including the so we can grab all of those and we press enter. And as we can see, we have a project internal rate of returns of approximately 9.16%. And then going forward, we can now determine the project rate of return for each year. So we're going to begin by XIR. But this time around, we will just reference the first cell, and we make sure we are referencing that with, we always want to reference the first cell with F4. And then we can now assign the dates. In this case, we'll reference just this first. And then we reference the first date with F4, so we can now calculate the running internal rate of returns for us. Close the bracket and we'll press enter. We can see that it is NA, but if we go all the way to the end of the project, we could see what the running internal rate of returns could be. So as you can see, it is very negative in during the first terms of the investment for approximately 11 years or approximately 10 years. The rate of return seems to be approximately 9 years. We have a negative internal rate of returns for approximately 9 years. And it becomes positive after the 10th year when this project break evens. And as you can see, it builds over time onto our last year of 9.16%. As you can see, we can see the internal rate of returns, which is exactly what we calculated above. So now we are ready to calculate the cash and cash returns. In this case, project cash and cash is just going to be equal to the sum of the cash flows. We take the sum of all of those cash flows, then we divide it by the initial investment amount. Make sure we are dividing it by the initial investment amount. As you can see, the cash and cash returns is approximately 2.15 times the initial investment amount by the equity investors. So it's not quite as much as it would be for other projects, but still, to the end of the projected period, the equity investors will be making approximately 2 times their initial investment amount. And then to calculate the running cash and cash, it's just going to be equal to, we will go by the sum as well. But this time around, we will reference just one cell, which is first reference that with F4, and then we divide it by the initial investment amount, which is this cell, reference that with F4, and then we can press enter. We can take this all the way to the end of the project life. And as you can see, the year-to-year running cash on cash, we start making above 1 times when this project break even, as we will expect here. So pretty much, hopefully this gives you a drive on how to analyze renewable energy projects, and also as an investor, what you will be getting back in return as a result on embarking in such a project. So what we'll be doing the payback is quite of a different kind of we'll be doing the payback later on after we get done with the cash flow waterfall for the joint ventures. So hopefully this gives you an understanding on how the equity returns of this investment might suit a certain class of investors, those who are interested in preserving capital rather than absolute returns. Sometimes you could get a higher return as a result, but for solar projects, it is not as risky as other projects. So in this case, your returns is just your cash on cash is just 2 times your initial investment amount, and your internal rate of returns is approximately 9.16%. So hopefully I see you, we talk about in the next video. See you on the cash flow waterfall for the joint venture. How we're gonna be splitting this initial investment amount between the general partners and the limited partners.